I'm Rich Carroll. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow you. What are some of the most pressing issues facing Florida lawmakers right now? Karen Johnson takes a look.
WNZF News recently caught up with State Representative Paul Renner, a Republican, asking about some of the important issues being discussed at Florida's legislative session this year. Here's the first concern.
I think the budget really is number one. We came in with a $3 billion deficit roughly, and through some federal monies and some tough budgeting, we're going to have a balanced budget at the end of this that doesn't increase taxes. And also, we're going to be able to replenish some of our reserves that were tapped. Florida is one of the few states that has the top credit rating by all the credit rating agencies, and what that means is if we need to borrow for some big project, environmental water quality or road building or what have you, we can do that at the very lowest interest rate. So Florida is very economically, fiscally healthy.
The second concern for the legislature, according to Representative Renner.
And also investing in some infrastructure in important areas, whether that's addressing some of the flooding we've seen down in South Florida, converting septic to sewer so we improve our water quality. I think that's a big issue that we've got to look at going forward from a long-range standpoint. I think it's probably in the tens of billions, if not, hundred billions of dollars statewide.
Renner represents the 24th District, which includes Flagler County, St. Johns County, Putnam County, and northern Volusia County. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
Flagler County's economic development leader warns that a lack of housing could cost the state jobs. Amy Cherry has the story.
Economic Development Manager Dolores Key says as Flagler County continues to see growth, housing options remain limited, and that could lead to less companies moving in. She made several suggestions to improve the housing stock at a recent county commission meeting.
In order to support a robust workforce housing, you need to consider reducing lot sizes to allow for smaller cottage-type homes, because we know that to build a house is going to cost the same as far as the material cost. So smaller homes and smaller lots may bring down some of the cost. If you increase your density and intensity in residential areas, that's another way to bring down costs for housing.
Key further stressed she's talking about attainable housing, not affordable housing. Commissioner Greg Hansen says the problem with that approach rests with developers.
If a developer wants to build small houses, he'll get it done. But nobody comes and lines up and says, I'm going to build small houses because that's what the people want. If you have a developer come into Flagler County and say, I want to build small houses and I need a zoning change to do that, we could get that done. We could get it done. Somebody's got to want to build them. I don't know of any developer waiting in the wings to come in and build little bitty houses.
County Administrator Jerry Cameron says he's working on the issue and hopes to propose a possible solution next month. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Amy Cherry.
Experts, meantime, say home prices are up and stock is limited. John Arking has more.
The latest statistics show that in March, 317 single-family homes were sold in the county compared to 238 last March. It's also the first time more than 300 were sold since the bubble, according to Toby Tobin, editor of GoToby.com and host of Real Estate Matters, who says the competition is getting fierce.
For every home that's listed for sale on the market, there are 3.5 homes that are already under contract. And there are 7 realtors. Less than 0.4% of our existing housing stock is available for sale. And I recently saw a survey that was forecasting that 1 in 7 people in our country, countrywide, were planning to move this year. So they obviously haven't put their house up on the market yet. And when they do, they're not going to be able to find anything to move into. You can't meet that model with less than 0.5% of your stock available.
Tobin says the values of homes in Flagler County have risen by $37,000 in the past year. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
Brewing locally keeps expenses down.
Curtis Moden is part of Coquina Brewery at Flagler Beach. He says they do use local ingredients at the local brewery. And Bob Newsome of Flagler Tax Service says there's money moving.
If the money's coming in and the expenses are going low, then they're making money. And that's the idea.
Moden says he keeps his expenses low by buying local and regional ingredients to brew the beer at Coquina Brewery. You can listen to the Business Report every Saturday morning at 10 here on WNZF. The podcast is on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, what about business contributions? From the WNZF newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.